against Team Cambodia, who literally does not know what the breaks are, then they have 0 points. And that's what makes me think otherwise, that this is more than just a download game for the Brawl server representatives out of Indonesia. Points are on the line, man. Unless you sweep, that's 1 point you gave over. It's not free for you to do that. So now they decide to go blue. They will start here. They'll ban out the Lancelot, the Farsa, and the CC, and then Team Cambodia will take out the Fanny and the Wanwan.
So they still ban the CC on the blue side, right? The red side ban, understandable, but this blue side CC ban, it has to mean something. Right? On red side, it's like, okay, you don't want the CC first pick. We've seen that the mid-season cup. We've seen it work out for some teams, but on the blue side ban, which means Aran maybe is given priority, and if that's the case, you take Arlet here. I mean, Arlet has to kind of go up on the list, because if not, then what else could that mean?
Yeah, they gotta. This has to be the Arlet or not. It's a Baksha. Do they even decide? Are they even thinking to flex the Baksha? Because if this is just Widdy's pick, like, I don't know how important it is to have Widdy on a Baksha now.
I mean, the Baxia, Widdy, like Roam Baxia is probably like a May thing. It's like more than 3 months ago, right? More than 3 months ago when you know, Gabe decided to bring it to MPL Malaysia, you know, and be like, hey, this is a Baxia Roam, and then we saw it in MPL ID as well, but it quickly faded away. So if that's the road that they're taking, I feel like it's a pretty weird hill to die on.
And to do it so soon, to do it so quickly. Here now, Team Cambodia brings back an old flame. Hasn't really been much of a big threat, but they pair it up with a very strong pick. The Kimmy in mid, for the most part, has been fading, but Kalia is still a solid pick if you know what you're doing. And they pick it into the Baksha. Oh my lord, they pick it into the Baksha. Husky, we forgot that Zushin is open. Zushin Baksha, very good combo alongside the Moscow. What is up with this draft?
Oh lord, I'm tearing up a little bit. Mid Kimmy definitely Mid Kimmy into Zushin is like, okay, you charge up your Starlium gun, and then you get mid priority. I mean, it's a good pick for mid prio, same as the Zushin, but with a Baxia around, once he gets the blade armor, it becomes a whole different story. But and also you can't really flex her into the gold lane, because last time we saw Kimmy go, we know how that went down. It was a complete stomp at the mid-season cup. So they instantly reveal the gold lane. They take the Granger. I'm okay with that. So the Arlet gets completely ignored.
Again, in game 1, a quick reminder, the Arlet was picked in blue 4 and 5. So maybe when the coast is clear and you know what you're dealing with, is when you pick the Arlet. Like if Team Cambodia is going to do it, they're going to do it if they're sure of how they can weaponize the Arlet. So I understand it, I get it. But what's Team Indonesia missing right now, both teams actually, is a jungler. Are they going to just start banning out junglers and then just struggling that way? Are we going to have to go to like tier B, A minus? Like, will we see the Lucas back?
There is a chance. If there's any team that is in need of a jungler, it's definitely Team Cambodia. You know, we still have the Baxia for Team Indonesia if they are pushed down that route. So I mean, Joy is still up, I guess. Joy,
Hayabusa too.
Hayabusa. We have the if you really go down to utilities, probably Xborg, Fredrin, Akai. Knowing Detective, he's probably telling his team that, hey, give me like an assassin or something, right? So if Hayabusa doesn't get banned out, I can see the Hayabusa getting picked up in the next slot, even though there's a Moskov. That's still, I think, the next best option.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past Team Indonesia to actually just finesse in that Hayabusa, because it's very good right now against two softies in the Granger and the Kimmy. Even Amon, you know, in the heyday of triple marksman with Yisun Shin in the jungle, you can do triple marksman and then the softies just melt with Amon. I like the read of Team Cambodia here into the Angela, because look at these 3 heroes for Indonesia. That is an Angela setup. So, good call. We take it out. And there's the Arlet. Okay, so they know.
Yep. So this does leave the Phobias once more. I mean, Aran can go Lapu Lapu. We're talking about softies, right? Lapu, Moscow, Baxia. It seems like good options to just jump the backline and finish the job. And I think not the worst laning phase into the Arlet too. But if they put Aran back on the Phobias, the the jungler suddenly has a lot of responsibility because right now they don't really have the much damage. There's plenty of crowd control, but the damage output, not so much.
Very odd for now, given the first three. Team Indonesia, though, they dig deep. They bring out the Lolita to answer the double marksman. So I see the logic, but let's wait for execution. We haven't really seen a Lolita pop off in a long while. There's a Lapu-Lapu. What does Team Cambodia put into the jungle? What does Detective get?
I do wonder. I mean, Lolita, you can preemptively let loose that Numenon Blast, but still it can be cancelled. I think there's a couple of ways for Team Cambodia to really knock you out of focus, and prevent the follow-up that you want. If Witty can land some sick, deflection with the bulwark, that would be great. But we did talk about the Akai being a possibility, and with the Lolita in play, the Akai is so much juicier in the jungle role.
Okay, they know that the Baksha will be going to the jungle after wrapping up their draft, so they say, hey, go utility against utility and isolate that Baksha. Let's see how Detective rocks this Akai. So far, drafts are already in. Will this double marksman lineup get punished, Husky? Because I like how there's 3 solid frontliners. I think they can get away with it.
Yeah, I agree. I would say that there's a bigger chance of them getting, having a harder game if it was like an assassin jungler for Team Indonesia, right? I mean, the Hayabusa was technically open if they wanted to go for it in 4-5, but they didn't. So the only threat, I say, is probably the Aran diving with the Bravest Fighter. But aside from that, I feel like Team Cambodia could play this long range, poke you down, take you out bit by bit, and then when they see the opportunity, then it's Detective showtime.
Possibly the last game in this series between Team Indonesia and Team Cambodia. Get ready, folks. It's match point for the Khmer in this best of 3. Something to note, Husky. A lot of purifies now amongst Team Indonesia. They so much respect Wadu's Arlot. Like that is emotional damage dealt. Now Boxy, very low. OP!
Able to flicker away. His level 2, so gets a bit of the juice to stay alive. But that is a win in Indonesia's book for sure. Detective cannot contest his objective, sadly. I think he still got the litho though.
Off cam! Woo!
He still won.
Look at that.
Almost a solo kill down boss. Jing straight out wins his lane.
Oh, I'm pretty sure the regenerate has been popped by Kabuki already. Still more action in mid!
Boxy continues to fight and just keep punching into Witty's shield. And here comes Joe, shows up, tries to go for invade in the jungle. Note the Detective does not have retribution just yet. Maybe an attempt to steal the buff away. And Boxy attempt to help Detective very down low. Boxy kind of finally shows up. Witty there as well. Detective hits level 4. He hits the retry button on time, and that ultimate allows Team Cambodia to get 2 free kills.
The art of the punish, and who'd have thunk the Akai would hit level 4. Did you even see the EXP bar on that Panda? How did that happen?
Oh man, Joe must be feeling so bad right now, losing 2 retribution fights against Detective. It's a replay of game 1, Leo. They go for an invade. They ended up losing members, but this time the cascading effect is a lot worse because Turtle priority goes over to Cambodia. Wadu flickers away. Aran follows up with his own flicker, jumps onto Wadu, trying to take him out. Wadu heals up with the Brave Smite, and still Aran finds the kill, and finally Joe gets something done. Finds the turtle, Wadu, Aran with a double.
Much better recovery here for Team Indonesia. Back in the driver's seat. It all started with Wadu getting whittled down by Aran. Now, Zing caught up between 2!
SOD doesn't connect, and Zing will have to blow his flicker, but it's not over just yet. Here comes Lord Witty. Most likely will find the takedown. An easy one for Yehescu.
Team Indonesia have a vendetta against Zing, given what he did in game number 1. And I understand it. I get it. But is this the right call? Should Team Indonesia really be bearing down on the Granger, or should they worry about Wadu again? Because look, Wadu's left alone.
A free lane, but I guess with Aran on this Lapu-Lapu, they can afford to, let Wadu be on his own a lot often, since that this Lapu-Lapu can match up with him better than the Phobius can, at least in the current circumstances. The
Whoa.
traction pulse, pull your head skill back, but no follow-up. Again, Witty puts up the bulwark, and that's the end of that.
So we're seeing now how Indonesia's unorthodox but very specific draft is answering what Cambodia is putting on the table. Save for that little stumble in the initial invade, Indonesia have found a way to recover. A very splendid position for them to be in now. 30 seconds until another turtle spawns. Lower quarter. Looking at the items, good chunk of it on mid. The advantage for Team Indonesia. Another good chunk of it in the EXP. So yeah, I think they should just leave this alone. Just don't bother Wadu and Aran. Just let Aran do his thing.
I mean, if they can somehow bring the pressure to Wadu and let Aran snowball further, suddenly the mid game becomes a lot more easy to play for Indonesia. 'Cause, man, Lapu Lapu deals so much damage, is so durable. We say that he is the primary threat to the backline, but we saw how he destroyed Wadu's help bar early on, a kidnap on to Aran, and he's gone, and that's the primary threat eliminated. The lift back onto Wadu, Numino Blast charge up on the tree, but Witty needs to follow up and doesn't find it. Wadu does though with his final slash. A quick escape for the rest of Indonesia, but they still end up losing Ju. So Team Cambodia comes out on top without giving anything away.
By God, they could have even taken down Witty. Christian just got away barely. And oh, SOD finds one! Zing! Oh, is he gonna press it?
With Boxy, definitely not.
Woo.
And free gold for Xing. This Granger, I mean, he's been in the face of Kabuki the entire game. And sure, he did go down early on, but nothing has changed. In fact, Team Indonesia going for a lane swap. They put Aran down bot because they need to free up Kabuki, but then now Kabuki is up against Wadu and is not getting any easier.
Wadu literally pressed load game and continued the momentum he had from game number 1 and is the same beast. Look at this, they're up by about 1,000 gold now with another turtle spawning in a minute. Team Cambodia, oh no, Zing just got his Sky Piercer. Is that a Piercer after Hunter Strike? Did he get that much farm already? Under 6 minutes?
I think so. I mean, he has been winning, dominating the lane. Funnily enough, he has lesser experience compared to Kabuki. I think by half a level, but still his network should be slightly more than the Moskov.
Yeah, that's been the story even in game 1. I was watching how some way, somehow, Kabuki keeps getting better EXP, but less gold. Interesting dynamics on the economy here for Team Cambodia. A lot of presence up top. 20 seconds until another turtle. There's just dueling. Look at this, Wadu and Aran.
Turtle spawning in just a bit too. I mean, we saw the War Axe just got completed for Aran. Fleeting time for Boxy too. Very early fleeting time. That should be a first item. First item. So.
Yep, that is a clear sign that Boxy wants to keep fighting. Boxy wants to keep going and hitting people with a German suplex, pushing them closer to Cambodia's firepower. That's 4 members. OP charging up the traction pulse. Oh, gets thrown back! Ouch!
Witty sends it back to Team Cambodia, and now the fight's gonna break out. Bravest fighter, Aran, needs to get work done. They find a clean up, the kidnap, and again a 4-man final slash for Wadu to set it up. Aran did hit the back line, takes out Boxy. Witty able to run away, and the help bars from the side of Team Cambodia dwindling. Witty flickers forward, finds the elimination onto Oppi. Zing finally shows up a bit late to the party. The bulwark put up by Witty to defend himself from this objective steal, and in the end, it's 3 down for Team Cambodia, but Xing is still going with the help of Wadu. Final slash misses, but Ran gets his ultimate back. Xing barely escapes, and Team Indonesia comes out on top.
Team Cambodia couldn't find their perfect front to back. Again, as advertised, Aran just ruined everything. Aran just ran through their front lines. Aran ran through their formation and just compromised Team Cambodia. It also doesn't help that Zing came from God knows where. Was he pushing up top? Because he was literally just running and double timing towards the fight. He took down 1 or 2, got a double if I'm not mistaken, but he was too little too late. So that is the story of that turtle fight. Not to mention, Yehezkiel. Yehezkiel is so good at getting rid of these frontliners that the marksman couldn't fight back. Wadu comes into 3.
3 people on top of Wadu. Can he stay alive long enough? Detective comes and helping out with a heavy spin. Wadu makes it away. And now they jump into Kabuki. He's underneath the turret, able to dash away with the step. And Wadu again with a stun. He's surviving way too long. Finally, Wadu goes down. And up here arrives the ball put up by Witty, saving his teammate just in time. So it's 3-for-1. Witty, the savior.
3-for-1, massive wins here for Indonesia. Boxy unable to find anyone to punish. At least Cambodia's sacrifices would not be in vain. They saved their tier 1. But at what cost? Blood, meat, and even their purple. Oh no! Grand Theft Purple Indonesia barreling forward. They are now in the lead, about 500 gold.
With all that has happened, the past 2 skirmishes that Team Cambodia lost, they still aren't that far behind. I mean, they're still farming up pretty well. You know, mid-turret stays alive, bottom tier 1 goes down thanks to Kabuki pushing. I feel like if you're Team Cambodia, you still have the capacity to fight, right? We saw how mechanically sound Wadu was on the Arlet. Sure, he went down, but it took Indonesia so long just to kill this Arlet with the help of Detective by the helm. They definitely want to contest for this Lord. Kabuki can now split push.
Alright, Cambodia starting up the Lord Dons. Wadu catches one. Now it's Ju. Aran pops the bravest fighter.
Flickers forward and a good heavy spin to isolate Aran and Ju. Meanwhile, Yehescu just trying to keep his backline alive, but they're going to run him down. OP finds the kill. And now for Team Indonesia, it's just buy time for Kabuki to keep split pushing. 2 turrets fall on the top lane, and Kabuki has gotten the job done. Flicker forward, follow up for Boxy just now. Wasn't able to find anything, but they were able to execute Ju. Another Sky Piercer stack given over to Xing, the 3rd of this game. Holy Shield pop on the top inhibitor. Witty, Kabuki, and Aran show back up. Aran's gonna have his bravest fighter back up again. Jump to the back line. OP with the damage. Final slash from Wadu. And both Witty and Kabuki go down. Aran to follow. Team Cambodia wins the extended fight.
You cannot team fight against a lineup like this, especially when you are short on bodies. Team Cambodia played the defense well up top. Team Cambodia forced Team Indonesia to respond in the turtle pit, the Lord pit now at this point, and get away with so much. Now it's their turn to punish. OP building himself the Blood Wings, able to withstand even damage being thrown out by Aran. So here's one way to deal with the Lapu Lapu. You overload him with stimuli. You give him so many targets from different positions, and the next thing you know, Indonesia are chasing too many goose. They're chasing too many targets, and they get split up themselves. Here's a concealed play coming in, all just to push mid lane tier 2. Cambodia in control of the map.
The Lord still pushing too. They have a very good wave setup on all 3 lanes. They're in a prime position to pop all holy shoes as well. So Kabuki is going to try to stop the bottom one from going off. But it's going to pop in 30 seconds regardless. Team Cambodia looking for the first inhibitor top side. And now there's going to be a tidal strike into a grab bag. There goes your jungler for Team Indonesia. The bulwark gets put up by Witty. They keep the inhibitor healthy for now. Half a health bar to go. New middle wave comes in. And now they engage. They just blow up Yehescu. The Wiseman is gone. And it's up to the 3 remaining members of Indonesia to hold the fort. And they will do just that. But at the cost of an inhibitor.
Cambodia comes in unpunished, unfettered. They take away that inhibitor. They take away 2 in Ju and Yehescu, and they give no quarter. Looking at the items right now, huge gaps between the cores here. And this is very difficult. Oh wait, the answer, a half-cocked Numenon Blast.
And Boxy is still able to grab a target. Has Cambodia bit on more than they could chew because they just lost Boxy. Aran with a good stun. They will take out Detective. Wadu desperately trying to get away. Traction pulse reflected by Witty to deliver the 4 for him, and Kabuki cleans up. And Team Indonesia turns it around. A maniac for Kabuki.
To answer the question, yes, Husky, yes. Cambodia may have bitten off more than they could chew. And now Indonesia are running it in mid. Straight up, they might actually end this. It's all 5. Only Boxy will spawn.
And I don't think there's enough time. Team Indonesia barely pulling it off. But it's more than enough to send us to game number 3.
Heartbreaking loss for Team Cambodia. They had that game. and it was theirs to lose, and they did. Now Indonesia forces us to go all the way, denying match point. Now they get momentum.
They do. It's definitely not the way you want to lose a game. Again, Cambodia, they had the control. I mean, even the item progression tells you the story that they want to go hard and fast. It came at a time, first item fleeting time for Boxy. Even the Granger had like almost full item, right? He was about to get a rose gold meter at one point. I feel like all they needed to do is just to play slow and patient. They got 2 inhibitors already. They didn't really need to rush, but the overzealousness came at a cost too heavy for them to pay.
Husky, they went too fast and they totally missed the pit stop. They ran over their own men, and now they have to recalibrate, regroup, and this was literally a game where they had to just slow down for a second. And this just shows you that despite Indonesia having a different roster, their senses and their instincts are on point. Their hunger for victory, their killer instincts are sharp as ever. So you can never count them out. Cambodia, this is a hard lesson to learn from, man. Mid-series too.
Yeah, and Cambodia, like these players, this is not the first time that they experienced a defeat of this sort, right? Of where they had a control of a game and it slipped out within underneath their fingertips in a matter of seconds. But I gotta say, this Lolita pick, a lot of hidden moments where Witty was actually the hero. The amount of projectiles he was reflecting. Of course, one of the highlights being the final moment, he reflecting that traction pulse, allowing his teammates to clean up the fight. But up till that point, again, Team Cambodia were in total control. It was Indonesia that was overextending. It was Indonesia overestimating their output and getting punished. But it doesn't really matter if your opponents are also doing the same, overestimating their capabilities.
Here you'll see in the mid-game to the even late-game transition, Cambodia really found a way to split up Indonesia. But eventually, in one final moment, in a second of a vulnerability, Indonesia were able to funnel through Cambodia. And it happened here in this part of the map, no? In the orange side of the jungle, wherein the stars just aligned. Indonesia just put Cambodia where they wanted them and wiped them out. We'll see it here in just a bit.
Yeah, I mean, even this sequence got me worried for a bit with how long Detective and Wadu were able to hold on in the top lane. Of course, Indonesia still came out on top, but this was the final moment, right, where they really just overstepped. Like the front line was out of position, Wadu ran out of support, and then just good old Witty with the bulwark to allow the cleanup. Kabuki gets to show up. We talked about whether Kabuki can fill in the void of Aaron Shiki, and he did it this game.
Kabuki is a vet. He is a consummate professional, and he knows what is needed to get done. And here he did. They got the team all the way to a chance to take the series back. That was a 13-minute game. That did not feel like 13 minutes. It actually felt a little longer.
Yeah, we call Team Indonesia, the roster from the Brawl server, but hey, we can't forget about the Cambodian squads. They love to brawl as well. In fact, they brawl even harder. Scrappy, hard, chaotic, but they always make it seem like it's a dance. Like, it's just that they kind of trip over their own shoelaces.
Yep.
I thought it was just 10 minutes, right? But we did get one Lord, and even that entire Lord push sequence felt very, very fast.
They got 2 left feet, and I think they got left in the pace of game 1, but their lineup does not allow for such recklessness, because again, this is a 2 marksman lineup, and your CC, rather your crowd control, have to be placed very specifically. If these things don't happen, your lineup just crumbles, and that's what happened in that sequence before we closed up and are now taking a look at the stats. Interesting how Wadu still kind of got greedy and kept building damage items. You see that? He had a rose gold this early on.
He did. I think it's warranted. At a certain point, I feel like Wadu, if he just went more tanky this game, it would have been slightly better. They didn't really need like his damage output. You get that from Xing and Oppi, but perhaps they were playing from ahead and they were just playing to win, right? They were just let's overwhelm Team Indonesia. And then we end the game before we scale off. And this one came back to bite them just because of a quick lapse of judgment.
Yeah. Instead, I think they got overwhelmed. They're the ones who had all the options and saw what was possible and forced their way into this position, which they got punished for. So with that said, we're down to one more game. We have the decider, the rubber match in this best of three, coming your way in just a bit. I don't know what to say for Cambodia here because it was so clear. It was just that one moment wherein they forgot, oh no, we're a double marksman lineup. We shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I mean, we had a moment of worry whether this is going to end up being a 2-0 sweep. And, well, the game 2 has proven that it is not going to be a sweep. So Indonesia gets another chance.
With that said, we are going to go to a quick break. When we come back, the conclusion to this best of three between Team Indonesia and Team Cambodia coming your way. Stay with us. We'll be right back.